Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is Jen Restyle Fashion, where we flip it, thrift it, and style it so that we can achieve a wardrobe that truly serves us. All right, you guys, if you are new here, welcome to the Restyle family. My name is Jen, and don't forget to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. Click on that bell so that you don't miss an episode. All right, you guys, we have a really fun upcycle for today, and I'm actually wearing it right now. All right, you guys. Last fall, I made a blazer with the tie sleeves that you guys really loved. So this spring, I am back. And this time we're gonna go in a little slightly different direction, because the question I was always getting is, how do you get a men's blazer to fit a woman's body? That's exactly what we're gonna cover today. We are altering and deconstructing and completely transforming this vintage blazer. And the sleeves are going to be men's neckties. So let's get into it. So here I am trying this on, and you can immediately see the issues. The shoulders are too wide, there's zero shape in the body, and the whole thing is just boxy. This is really common with vintage men's blazers. The good news, a few darts will fix almost anything. So what I'm going to do is pin 2 bust darts here in the front. I'll also take in the side seams once I try it in, just slightly, because I really want to give more of an hourglass silhouette, more of a feminine look. I'm not going to do anything drastic, but just enough to make it look intentional. I'm removing the original sleeves with my seam ripper, and while I'm removing the sleeves, I am leaving the lining intact. This is important because lining is just very key in a tailored outfit, and it's unnecessary to take the lining out. This way you'll have a lining for the tie sleeves that's already there. It also gives the armhole a clean, finished edge, and it's going to help when you attach the sleeves, so don't rip that out. Okay, so here is how you alter a men's blazer to fit a woman. And honestly, once you know this, you're going to look at thrift store blazers completely differently. I'm wearing the jacket inside out, and I'm going to pinch and pin 2 vertical darts on the front panel. You're going to want to start about an inch below the bust line and taper down to the pocket if there is one. If there's not, then you want to stop around the natural waistline. This creates shape without completely changing the structure of the jacket. Now, for this particular blazer, I didn't need to take in the sides. The darts alone are going to give me the shape that I want. But if your blazer is really oversized, you may need to take in the side seams too. Just try it on, pin it, and see how it lays. Always pin before you sew. Always. Once the darts are pinned, take the jacket off and sew along those pinned lines. Backstitch at the beginning and the end so that your seams don't come apart, and press your darts towards the back when you're done. Pressing is going to be everything when you're altering, so don't skip that crucial step. Now, before we touch the sleeves, we need to remove the shoulder pads. I'm just going to reach in through where the sleeve was, snip those out. This is going to help it sit much more naturally on the shoulder, especially once we put in the new tie sleeves. And the tie sleeves, of course, are more softer. They're more relaxed than the original sleeve. While preparing for the sleeve insertion, because the shoulders are so broad, I went in and I clipped about a 1/2 inch off of the sleeve, and that ended up not even being enough because I ended up having to put a dart across the shoulder just to bring it in. All right, now let's skip to the fun part, the ties. I used men's neckties and I deconstructed each one of them with my seam ripper. A lot of ties have a lining and an inner lining and a tie interfacing. You're going to want to pull all of that out until you just have the flat outer fabric. You do, however, need to leave in the lining that is attached to the wide end of the tie and the smaller end of the tie. It's just about maybe 3 or 4 inches of lining that you want to leave intact. I'm going to be mixing a few different tie patterns here. You want some variation in the prints, but make sure the scale and the vibe feels cohesive. So once you've sewn them together, press those seams open, and you are building a fabric panel that's eventually going to become this beautiful flowy sleeve. Now I'm cutting my sleeve shape from the tie panel. I want volume, a lot of it. Because we're going to gather this at the wrist with elastic for that balloon effect, I'm cutting this very generously. You can always take it in, but adding fabric back is a hassle. Fold the sleeve piece right sides together and then sew the underarm seam and press. Then you're going to run a basting stitch across the top of the sleeve cap. And we're going to gather that in later. I'm going to show you how I insert the sleeve into the jacket, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because you've already seen me do this before. And if you remember from the first jacket, we did not use a casing on the sleeve. We just sewed the elastic straight to the ties. And I actually like that, but maybe one day I'll do it with casing. We shall see. Now, to attach the sleeve, I'm going to pin the sleeve cap to the armhole, right sides together, easing it as I go. The existing sleeve lining is going to act as our guide here. Take your time with this. Ease in any extra fullness at the top. I like to spread my fullness out throughout the sleeve. I don't want too much at the top because I don't want that big kind of puffy 90s sleeve. I just want a flowy, full sleeve. Then you're going to sew it, clip any extra threads, and then press. All right, you guys, we finished the jacket. So I'm going to run through the rest of the alterations that I made. I didn't show everything because the camera died, but I will explain. You all saw me put the sleeves in the other video, so I didn't feel it was necessary to go through the whole putting in the sleeves or adding the elastic. I did all of that in the other video. So this is about tailoring this jacket so that it has a better fit. All right, so you saw me create the darts here in the front. So I made sure that the darts, and I still have to press this. So we've got some little folds here. But I tried to get my seam to line up with the seam that was already there. Did okay. Let's turn around the back. This jacket had never been worn, by the way. The original tags were on it. The vent is still tacked together. I ended up putting some darts in the shoulder because the shoulders were so broad. Even though you watch me trim some of the fabric off here, it still wasn't enough. So I went in and I took it in on the shoulders. So we just came in, we pinched about a ½ inch on each side, and then that brought the shoulders in, which was fine because this was kind of wide across the back. So I brought this seam all the way down into the back darts. So we just have one continuous seam. Again, I do have to iron this. And then we also did a seam under the arm that comes right down right before you get into the pocket. And I did open up the inside of the jacket, so I have holes in here so that I could get in and get to the back. Well, so that I could get in and sew the sleeves on, but also I took the jacket in the back seam about, I would say maybe about 1/4 of an inch, to just bring this in so that it wouldn't be so broad across the back. So those are the alterations that were needed. Let me know if you guys are interested in more alterations. I have plenty of clothes that need work and I really need to get to it. And we can do a video where I'm just showing you how I alter my clothes. And I also took some of the leftover fabric and made this little kind of boutonniere, if you will, kind of a brooch design. I put a pin in it because I don't know if she's going to want to keep that there. And if she doesn't, she can just take the pin out and leave it plain. I just happen to like it. That's my style, but that's not everybody's style. Anyway, I love the way this turned out. I'm going to do a try on. I'm going to style this up at the end of the video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. So I hope Jen likes it, and I am going to record her reaction. I'll share it in the behind the scenes Black Solstice video that is coming up. And here she is, a completely transformed vintage men's blazer. Altered to actually fit, shoulder pads out, original sleeves replaced with men's ties as sleeves, as balloon sleeves. This is the spring version and it feels lighter and more playful than the fall version, which I have linked here in this video. A big takeaway from today is that darts are going to be your best friend at all times during alterations, especially a men's blazer for a woman's body. A couple of vertical darts in the front and in the back will give you shape and structure and more of a silhouette. Pair that with some unexpected sleeves and you have a piece that is truly one of a kind. If you try this, tag me. I would love to see your version. If you have questions about the alteration process, please comment below and let me know what you guys think. And if you are interested in seeing more alterations, tell me what kind, what things you're struggling with, what pain points do you have when you're buying clothes in the store and you bring them home and they just don't quite fit. Let me know down in the comments. Let's discuss, and perhaps I'll put together a video in the future to talk about some of those things. All right, you guys, thank you once again for hanging with me on this Sunday morning, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Chicago, yeah, from the lakefront lights.